I'm doing it for my daughter.
These years. That's a pretty
Tim looks healthier than I expected. This guy looks like fucking slime from the bottom of my shoe, though. Looks like a smarmy LA wannabe journalist, fucking cretin guy. But I'm not such a hater that I need to watch something like this. He's probably fine.
Podcast. Everybody's got a podcast now, huh?
There's too much content.
Yeah.
I saw something that was really funny. Some guy's video was how Joe Rogan ruined podcasting.
Damn.
And then the thumbnail was all of Joe's, like, all the perhippery people that are like, that you know who they are because of Joe. And then a picture of Joe going like this. And it said, "Want to meet my friends?"
Oh man, that's funny. I guess that's partially true.
Well, I mean, he's obviously a very generous guy. He's put a lot of people on.
Yeah.
But there, and it's not. I don't think it's his fault. I think it's the consumer's fault that there's too much. I mean, it's the consumer's fault, and it's also just the function of the medium. You know, streaming, YouTube platform, streaming platform, video platform, specifically advertising funded content, which is what everything that you watch, may not register for you, but it's all advertising funded. That's how everything that you see gets paid for. That's why there are not cool DVDs coming out, or if they are coming out, it's like extremely niche stuff that you have to really dig for and like find it in a difficult way.
You know what I did find?
What?
The #1 Patreon ever currently. Shane Gillis, who's wearing a Com 98 shirt.
Oh hell yeah!
Largest Patreon in the world.
Absolutely.
In the latest episode, he's wearing the.
He's got a Com 98 shirt.
Yeah, the hot dog one.
He's wearing my shirt.
Yep.
In which episode?
The latest one. So Shane Gillis.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah. So Matt and Shane's podcast.
That's so nice of him.
And he was wearing the old.
What a great guy.
Great shirt. Yeah, look at that.
What a gentleman. Thank you so much for doing that. It's a good shirt, though.
It's a great shirt. Comfort colors.
Shirt's dope. Should run that back in a different color.
Yeah.
How big is his Patreon? I call it Patreon, Chris. It's you sound like a fucking idiot when you call it Patreon, Chris.
Patreon.
I'm just kidding.
Well,
Patreon. It should be Patreon.
They call it the page.
I call it the wrong. I sound like I just criticized you, and I say it wrong. Because it's patron, so it should be Patreon.
Patreon. That's what
I said. Patreon.
Either way, that's the British.
No, it's not either way. You wouldn't say patron.
No.
You'd say patron.
But yeah, 73,000.
Is this the biggest Patreon?
Yes. Yeah. As far as I know, yeah.
This is well, did you see a chart or something laying it out, or?
Yeah. Yep. I typed in top 10 Patreons.
This is the biggest one?
Yep.
Damn. That's huge.
Yeah.
We're
killing it.
I mean, we're doing good.
Yeah.
We're not going to tell people how good we're doing. Because that would be suicide, because people want to see me specifically fail and eat shit.
Yeah.
69,000. So I'll say I'm making $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
Dollars.
Yes.
I can barely survive. But this is great, though.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Yes. We mail him 500 more of those shirts.
Just inundate him with shirts. And I'm not saying this just because I like him. I think he is the funniest.
Oh yeah.
In terms of comedians that you can watch now. My favorite will always be Patrice O'Neal, but I think Shane is super funny.
Oh yeah. In terms of modern stuff.
Not even in terms of modern stuff. He's super funny.
Oh yeah.
I just meant that my favorite comedian's dead. Patrice O'Neal, who is worth looking up if you don't know who Patrice O'Neal is, as well. But this type of this content right here, I like Chuck Palahniuk, but this brand of content,
grab water,
stuff that you would call content, because in the past, listening to some drug addict talk about how they got arrested for whatever, this is not This is content only because there is now a vehicle for there is now a vehicle for the boring scum that you would have scraped off your boot in past eras. Like this is not good enough, it's not compelling enough, it's not interesting enough, it's not redemptive enough. It's not anything enough. And this is the best of the best. This is fucking potty training, man. What is this?
Have you seen the clown
Fucking
one?
piss shit, man. Under my boot, man. Soft white underbelly. This is the best of the best. I'm talking about content, Chris.
Okay.
I'm waxing philosophical. I'm putting on my Andrew Schultz hat.
You're wacky.
I'm making a serious point right here. And this serious point, I want you to retweet this and get me Reddit karma for this. But what I'm saying is, this is the best of the best. Soft white underbelly. And if you're making content, what is content? Content is all the shit that I step on with my boot when I'm brutalizing poor people and I'm stepping on guts out in the street. Okay? And there's scum on my shoes. And I go into Walmart and I see people that are 17,000 pounds shitting openly on the floor, and then scooping the shit up and eating it and gobbling it and smearing it on their face like it's
Subway.
makeup, and licking shit off their fingers and crawling up to me. Poor people crawl up to me on their hands and knees, and they reach for my belt buckle and they say, "Please, sir, may I have a crumb? Please, sir, may I have a crumb?" And that whole world, that world of death, that world of piss and poo-poo, that world of purple poo-poo, okay? This is stuff that there weren't movies, there weren't books, there wasn't fine art about adult baby diaper lover interview. Because in the past, you would have had the good sense to put a fucking in a target at a firing range and then tell this man, "Sorry, have a nice day."
Yeah.
This guy belongs on the underside of a fucking okay?
What if his tattoo said,
But instead, he's
Huggies?
in a 23... Yeah, his tattoo should say Huggies. He's in a 23-minute long video that carries interest all the way here till the end, because people are eating this. Here's the most interesting part. People are watching this while they're eating food that comes out of bags.
so that's the soft white underbelly that they're talking
This is the
about.
soft white underbelly right here. And this is how I feel about all content, including my own. People will say, "Oh, he's hypocritical. He says he talks trash." No, streaming in general, this format sucks. And I think that there's a value to some of it. I like I'll listen to certain episodes of Rogan. I'm not saying the whole medium is shit. I'm just saying that post-COVID, post people being indoors, looking for something to do, and diving deeper into their phones and their accounts, this explosion of content is, I think the closest thing to it would be in Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? He has a term called kippleization. So, Philip K. Dick, the word kipple, is it? Type kipple. Kipple in Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep is the clutter of useless junk that reproduces when your back is turned. And he has this, the main character, as he's wandering the hallways, investigating this rogue android, I think they live in a, do they live in a world where global warming is at such a point that they have to wear personal air conditioning units? He's in some city that's breaking down, and it's like Blade Runner original apartment. JR. Blade Runner original JR. Man, what a fantastic book. What a fucking unbelievable book. J.F. Sebastian. So in the future, there are these people, they call them like cluck heads or chicken heads, fish heads, something like that. They have a birth defect that makes them, like J.F. Sebastian has like a childlike innocence and lack of reasoning about him, and he is taken advantage of by these androids, and I think they kill him too. And I think the point that Philip K. Dick is making in the book is that these hyper advanced replicants, these things that are made to resemble humans, they have less humanity. They have less of what makes. They have less of what is important about humanity than this retarded guy. And the retarded guy brings in a spider, and it's at this point in the future where the world is in such shambles that animals no longer exist. Like there's like they're all extinct. Okay. There are handfuls of them in nature, and people buy fake synthetic animals for bragging rights to show off to their neighbors. But the chicken head, the guy with this birth defect, finds a real spider, and he like treasures it. He brings it in, he brings it inside, and he's like, "Hey, Mr. Spider, what can I do to help you?" Because it's this. It's one of the last remaining animals that he found. He found this thing that shouldn't exist, like this precious life. And the androids are like, they're laughing and they're sociable, but they start torturing the spider and like pulling its legs off. Okay. And that's the point where, like throughout the book, you're wondering what Philip K. Dick's take is, because the androids, they have complex thoughts, and they're saying things like, "Well, am I human too?" But then the scene comes where they just torture this spider to death, and you know that the fucking... Are we losing people or gaining people? We're losing people.
Oh, we have 3K now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The fuck do you guys want to hear about this crap for? But in the book, Kipple is this avalanche of junk that multiplies and replicates when you don't look at it, and it's just entropy. It's just how when attention is not paid to something, entropy increases, and you just have to constantly be paying attention in order for destruction and disease not to triumph over life. And that's the sense I get when I look at content, is that the way a person would say it with limited understanding they would call it the algorithm, but it's really just the function of advertising driven media, and the democratization of media, meaning you don't have some Harvey Weinstein bigwig deciding what's good. You have Joe Schmo deciding what's good, which in some cases is way worse than hierarchical. You get fucking To the Rescue, Fire Truck to the Rescue, Diaper Man, and he's standing like a little boy. Come on, bro. Ugh. This is such a weird sexual display. Why don't you lose some weight,
We
motherfucker?